Because it is taken up two people to make sure one person is functioning.
Yeah, exactly. That's what my niece, she has two administrative assistants. They are both like 68, and neither one of them can work the system. So she has to do everything herself and be a law professor. And I'm like, this right here is some nonsense. What was I doing? Patri.
She gonna be a law professor?
She is a law professor. My niece is.
And she ain't gonna help you?
No, she, what? She has two assistants.
No, I know. Why can't she get you a job?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. They don't have that kind of pull. Because I'm like, why can't you just fire them and hire me? And then it's just like, well.
They don't. And especially if they're assistants that have been around forever. They hate everybody, watched everyone grow up. And so everyone hates having them and they get shuffled around to whoever they don't like. But heaven forbid you discipline them.
Yeah. That's
my
what.
dad had like an 87-year-old like assistant. She couldn't do anything, but she had been there since she was like 19.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Grace and Frankie.
Everyone.
Of Joan on Grace and Frankie. That she could barely move.
Literally, the person is named Joan.
Yes.
Literally, the person at my branch is named Joan.
That's amazing.
She can move, and she's got some work done. So, like, she don't look 72.
He said she don't look 72.
Don't they have computer competency tests before they hire some people?
Oh, God.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
An admin assistant at Northeastern in the administration's office.
Right.
So, like, she had learned, like, multiple computer systems on how to, like, make sure people could matriculate. Like, but apparently banking is too much.
She done lost all that.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, is this just regular telling? Like, you know, like, okay, deposit this.
Yep.
Withdraw this.
Yep. But to be fair, like, our system, even it took me a little bit after.
Oh, we are live, so if you're saying anything confidential.
No.
We just went live.
Nothing like that.
Okay, cool.
No. Even after, like, 3 years of teller experience, it still took me 2 weeks, but it didn't take me 6 months, and I knew stuff after 6 months. I cannot say the same for Joan. So, she, like, literally just forgot how to make a cashier's check today.
That's like something you do multiple times a day.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Messy. Okay.
I'm going to restart my Chrome to get my camera working.
Okay. Because we need to see that beautiful face. How was your day, Philip?
Good. Yesterday I had to take an Adderall because I didn't have any Vyvanse. And it was too much.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
My old Adderall is like twice as strong, it's like 3 times as strong as what I'm taking right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, it was not a good feeling.
That doesn't sound like a good feeling.
I felt like it gave me flashbacks, and I was just like, oh, like, but I guess in a way it was a good, kind of like, if I needed a reminder, like, I totally remembered why I quit all that stuff, because it was horrible.
Peel is the absolute
I got my
worst.
prescription today, finally.
You got what?
I got my regular prescription today. So
Yay. When do you hear about the other thing?
On Friday.
Okay, good. Yay.
Well, you said Pew's been acting up. I have avoided the getting into that mess.
Well, so because what's happening, and so this Nani, God bless her, what ends up happening, hold on just a second, we're live. What ends up happening is we stop talking about stop talking about Posey being trifling, and then we start inadvertently talking about ADHD. And it's like, no, that's not what this is about. This is about them trying to use that to make Posey special so he can one-up Styles or one-up Dylan and, you know, whatever little race they have running in their mind. And it's like, I don't want to get to the thing of people being like, well, I don't believe he has ADHD because ADHD people are like this, you know? And it's like, no, we're not doing that. This is Posey, and he's ridiculous. It's the same thing
people do with depression. It's like, you're not depressed because I don't see you laying in bed all day. And it's like, honey,
well, exactly.
Spectrum of shit that you can go through.
Because
no one's depression or ADHD looks the same.
Because and that's what I didn't want to get into, because of course they take that and they run with it. And just like Camelot, I had to break him down. He was like, you're disgusting. I was like, you're going to get enough of calling me disgusting when you know that I'm not. I was like, if you want to talk about this, we can talk about this, but you're not going to try to drag me in one breath and then yell at me for not being nice to Posey in another. Like, absolutely not. You're not going to say that I don't have empathy and then call me disgusting in an entire post. That's not happening.
I'm all for having values, but you better be freaking consistent with them if you're going to start bashing me with
100%. And that's why I had to, like, break him down. He was like, oh, if you read the post. I was like, clearly I read the post. I've had specific posts, like, specific items that were clearly referenced in the post. I read it. So we're not going to play this game. You are wrong. And I was like, I don't know how y'all dug up this old article. And so then another Nani was like, you guys have talked about this before. And I remember that podcast, and I remember how quickly they took it down, because that's the one that he admitted to cheating on Shauna in. And it's one that, do you remember that podcast?
No, because I don't think I was in that part of the fandom at that point.
Okay. So yeah, he did. It was back in 2016, like September 2016. And I remember I was going to download the app and then got distracted. And by the time I went back, it was gone. Like hey, boo.
Hey, boo.
Like, it was absolutely gone. And so Teen Wolf 2x10.
I had to fire up Firefox.
Oh, wow.
So I am on edge. Okay, I am.
I didn't even know this worked on Firefox. I think I know it was Chrome and then like Opera. I hate using Chrome.
I love Chrome, but see, you're a Mac person. I ain't got no Macs.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for Macs.
Oh, believe me, if I could afford any sort of modicum of Mac that could do anything, I would have one.
That's my thing. I think if I had one, I would probably love it. But as it stands now, I'm like, no, I can't do it.
Oh my god!
Because I don't want an iPhone either.
It's a good investment because my laptop is at least, I think it's like 7, 8 years old.
Oh yeah.
And like I like it works just like the way when I first got it, basically.
That's crazy.
The only thing I've noticed is that I need like a faster graphics processor because the video editing takes a little bit longer than it used to. But like video has changed so much in the past like 3 years, so that's why. But like I mean, I can still do it.
Oops, nope. Not.
Yeah, but it's really it's an investment. So it's like I waited a while before I got this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. All right, I think we are a goot. That's right. He said BHAD brought to you by IE and Web Crawler. Hey, Greyhounds Girl. Hey, Aiden. Hey, Purple Pines. Hey, Tistolinski. Hey, Greyhounds Girl. Philip, can you...
Are we live?
Yeah, I told you.
And I was all talking my business.
No. I didn't let you say anything, crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was after that. It was after that.
I mean, not that I think. I mean, you guys know I can't even control myself on this podcast because, like, I'll just say stuff that I don't even mean to say, and then like I forget that I said it.
Right.
So, like, I'll listen back, and I'm like, oh, I went there.
That's the.
And I kept going.
Someone pulls it out on me, and I'm like, did I say that?
He was like,
I don't think I would say that out loud.
He was like, I must have pulled over at some point. No, okay.
Our last podcast was like, we can't even post that.
Oh yeah, I know, y'all.
I was so terrible.
No, that was everybody involved.
The last podcast because
I took out the fix. I took out the fix and just put them. I posted the fix part, and the rest of it, I was like, I can't.
I'm not even talking about that one. I'm talking about the one we had in the middle.
I don't even remember that one. I think the last one we just did was the same thing, where it was like, I need to post this, and I'm like, I'm not going to post this. You just had to be there.
We just went.
It was so good, though. It was so good.
Like, there was almost no holding back, and the attempts to hold back were literally just busted
ridiculous.
Right
like flowers by room service, an a la carte, dandelions.
And guys, this is why it's important for you to subscribe to the BHAD Podcast Twitter at BHAD Podcast.
Yes.
Because that is where you will get either the most important information or
that's where we leave our live cast. That's right.
Now, just so you know, we took off those Tumblr updates, so if you turn on the notifications, you'll only get the most important stuff.
Yay.
So follow and turn on notifications, please.
Mostly you'll get me yelling about politics and Game of Thrones.
And then Game of Thrones.
Yes. Both. Game of Thrones and Game of Thrones slayed me. I was laid out.
No spoilers. I'm not watching until the last episode is about to air.
See, no. Then you can't talk about no spoilers. I need you to get it together. I'm going to tell you everything. Okay. Oh, Philip, can you post a link either in the Spreaker, or if you don't have that open, post it in the Discord, and then I'll put it in the Spreaker.
For what?
For the episode.
Oh. Okay, I gotta find one because I'm using my Prime account.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's still on Prime?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all, it's still on Prime if you want to watch. I'm trying to get a student account through Prime because I work for the university, so I'm going to see if they let me do it. Because then it's like half. I'm like, I will. And then I got my phone bill down because it's still under my mom's name, and so I'm just an authorized user because I was like, I'm not going through all the trouble of changing this. And then they said it to me last time, but it didn't click with me that I could. And then this time they were like, oh, we have our unlimited 55 plan. It's for people 55 and older, and you get everything. And I was like, okay, baby.
You're terrible.
They ain't knowing ain't gonna hurt them.
Exactly. They'll be just fine. As much money as Sprint has gotten, they had the nerve to send me a thing talking about happy anniversary. You've been a member for 15 years. I was like, God dang. I was like, when were cell phones invented? How was that possible? Ooh, I've been with them too long. And now they won't let me upgrade for cheap. And I'm upset about it. Ooh, actually, now I might upgrade.
So do I have the right episode? Are we doing 210 Fury?
I'm pretty sure that's where we are.
Because we didn't actually watch the episode where she takes the sheriff, right?
What? No, that's season 3.
What?
We're on season 2.
I know, that's what I'm talking about.
Who takes the sheriff?
Jennifer takes the sheriff?
3A.
That's season 3, hunty.
That's 3A, boo.
Oh, girl, you gotta reel it
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I have no idea what episode we're in.
You have no idea what season we're in?
What season? Do you know what show we're watching, Philip? Do you know what show
not
this is?
1995. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Party like it's 1995.
You want me to put it in Spreaker?
Yeah.
Why
Just
did I don't make you work so hard?
I know.
Not like it's my job or anything, but I was not prepared.
That's why you are permanent, involuntary, permanent, da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, I need my own login for this. Why did you
I have these vases, and I need to figure out what kind they are. Evidently, they're supposed to be some sort of fancy. I don't know if you
Okay,
can
guys,
see this.
there's a link, and then you can also go to the... What's that one we have for when we're online? The
That-
Live Watch suggestions?
What? Oh, yeah.
Okay, I put the link in Live Watch suggestions too.
Coolio, thank you. All right, everyone. Fandom Bite. That's cute. Welcome, everybody, to Beacon Hills After Dark. I, of course, am StickyKeys, and joining me tonight is involuntary permanent co-host Ethan. Say hi, Ethan.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it is Wednesday, and it needs to be Friday.
Yeah. Next to him is Mr. Philip. Say hi, Philip.
Hey, everybody. I don't work, so every day is like a Friday.
You get on my nerves, is what you do. But this week, so today, basically something very big happened, which was good. But because it happened, it made me feel like it was Friday. And so now I know I'm going to be mad tomorrow morning. So just like, God, and I got to work tomorrow night. So it's going to be a long night. So we'll see what happens. Also, what was I going to say? There was something else. I can't remember. So yeah, we have to finish this season. It has been... Well, okay, so I was trying to get a bomb interview and dude ghosted, but I don't know if he got scared because he didn't block me. He just kind of stopped responding. But then, like, if I leave a comment, he'll like it. And then if I, like, reply to one of his stories, he'll read it and sometimes he'll like that or, like, add a heart or, whatever schmoopy stuff. And so I'm
Maybe
like...
you should listen to the podcast first.
Well, I know, right? He's probably listening to this one. Like, that's why I didn't come on. But,
It's like, listen to the interviews.
Oh, yeah, I sent him a link to the interviews. I was like, this is your wheelhouse. This is where you need to be. Dang, they still have me scheduled Friday at work. I need to call them. And so, yes, I am just like Learcern. So, we're going to finish this. And we're going to complete the season. And we will not be doing 3A. So, just to let y'all know ahead of time.
We say that.
Nope. No. Because evidently I'm supposed to be mad
I wanted to, but then, like...
I'm supposed to be mad at...
I would like to remember Boyd Styles as, like, the best thing in it.
That's not even 3A!
Oh. Yeah, why am I watching it?
Philip.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm not...
There are only a couple of reasons to watch 3A. One is for Styles' hair. Two is for the big fist scene.
Oh my God, so many hysteric scenes.
So many hysteric scenes.
Right.
It was rotten with hysteric scenes. And then there was something else that happened in 3A.
The hand?
Huh?
Sadly, it's tied to Boyd's death, but...
hand on the shoulder.
Hand with her shoulder.
Oh, but man, when I tell you that launched 1,000 fics, and they were all beautiful and poignant.
And Derek breaking Jennifer's enchantment and leaving Styles over her.
Well, it just fill up your face. It was just so euphoric. Like, you look like Brienne. Huh?
Derek's love for Styles broke magic.
I love it. He was like, "You guys Styles daddy, though?" And she was like, "Derek, how could you?"
Amazing.
And then they try to be like, "There's absolutely no Derek on the show. There's never been Derek. They hate each other." And I'm like, "Sis, you can..." Yeah, I was like, "You could keep trying this. You just look dumb."
We have to deal with that episode that was before Motel California where Scott pretends like he's so guilt-ridden over Derek's death.
That whole thing, and it's so funny because people have like really dissected that, and it just never makes sense.
No,
it never makes sense. It's just like, well, what's the point?
Okay, if we're gonna get into it, I need to know, like, Scott was not suicidal depressed. It was an effect of the wolfsbane.
Well, and so that's the other part about it. So now I'm like, okay, so was it just the wolfsbane, or was he actually... And of course, the show never goes on to explain or describe that. Someone was complaining about you have to be mad. They always... The aunties always do this thing where you just can't ever talk about one situation. It has to be in comparison to...
Ethan, you need to... Is that a keyboard or is it another bullet chip? I knew it!
Oh,
Easter.
Easter's about to get you beat down. No, I'm just playing. But you can never just talk about one thing at once. And so they had this whole thing about, well, if you get mad at Scott for, I can't even remember what the scenario was, but for something stupid he did in season 1, then you have to get mad at Derek because he didn't tell anybody about the Alpha Pack coming. And I was thinking about that because he was like, he heard the wolves in the forest. He knew it was them. And I was like, I don't remember a lot of this show. I don't remember anything that we've watched. But
at the end of season 2, you see Derek, Isaac, and Peter talking about what's coming.
Well, they say what's coming, but there's no clear idea of an Alpha Pack.
They explicitly state it.
I don't think so.
We'll watch the last episode, but it's explicitly said.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll look into it because because the reason I didn't think they did is it didn't make any... It basically... Oh, because the hunters were the ones who were doing the werewolf voices because they had like the box and they were trying to make them think that. And when they were going to work for... why are you shaking your head?
I mean, I watched it a couple weeks ago.
You didn't even know what show we was watching. Throwing you under the bus. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Because I was like, I don't remember that. Because what I'll say is I remember in 3A them retconning it. And so I thought it was a retcon from 3A that Derek had known specifically that the Alpha Pack was coming. I don't think that the Alpha Pack was a thing at the end of season 2.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I don't think between the time that they filmed those episodes, because they did reshoots, and that was actually confirmed, they ended up doing reshoots. So from the time that they shot that first part with Derek, where he was in the woods, that's what I meant, sorry. From that time, so basically he shot the scene and then they did rewrites and then they added in the Alpha Pack because they were still building 3A. So I was trying to tell them, I was like, I think that's a writing issue. I don't think that's something that you can say is canon, that Derek knew in the forest that the Alpha Pack was coming, because at that point, I don't think Derek was playing it like he knew, because I don't think he did. I don't think the Alpha Pack was a thing at that point. But when they did the reshoots, then it came, and then they added the scene with Derek, Isaac, Peter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What's wild to me is that in every fandom, it's always so hard to explain to people that there's canon, character, behavior, and things, and then there is the things that they do on screen.
Right.
And those things sometimes don't match up because of the writing.
Right.
And it's always so hard to, like, to just be like, yes, this is what happened. Is it in character? No. And they're like, well, it is in character because they do it on screen. And
right.
No. That's not what we're saying.
Exactly.
We're saying, is it true to, like, what we know so far about this character?
To who they are.
Is this within a realm of, like
possibility.
Possibility. Is this out of the realm of possibility? Does this, like, is this in character in regards to what we know?
Oh, a great example, Zendaric, season 4.
Yeah.
There's
perfect example.
No reason for there to have ever been a Zendaric, especially when they still never explained his transformation. So for him suddenly to be Team Scott, Zendaric, yeah, you can take the land that my family protected for decades. You know, it's like it's canon because it's on screen. But it's not canon behavior because that's something that Derek wouldn't have done.
Never.
I mean, it makes no sense, especially with the decision with Talia. And, like, what I try to explain to people when I have this discussion is that there is what the character would do, and sometimes that doesn't happen on screen, and sometimes what you see on screen is what the writers needed to move a certain plot point forward.
Right. Well, and so that's why when we have these arguments...
There's so many instances where they do this to Styles, especially...
Yeah. Well, the main one is the fight between Styles and Scott. Both of them were woefully out of character. And really, even that whole season, because I really don't believe that Styles would have done the thing with Donovan and not told anyone. Because I don't think Styles would have thought of it as murder. I think he would have known it was self-defense. And so there's just a whole, shebang with all of that. But that fight was utter and complete nonsense, and it was 100% a plot device. The problem is you can't see eye to eye with the aunties on it. And so they have this whole thing about Styles was the most cruel person he's ever been. How dare he say some of us are human? And I'm like, that's not an insult. Like, this is not as deep as y'all are trying to make it. I don't even argue with them about that. It's like, this is very stupid.
It just always makes, like, any sort of discourse just so, like, unpleasant and just
not fun.
Yeah, to just like talk about it and to just try to explain to people, like, just because you're seeing something on your screen doesn't mean that that's something that the character, like, is about. It's just it's definitely come up a lot. And actually, there was this funny, Geek Dad?
A little bit.
Yeah, so
I've heard very briefly.
Dad did this thing that blew up the Voltron fandom again.
Lord.
After we had been sleeping.
Mm.
And rightfully so. And literally basically confirmed that the writers had no idea what the fuck they were doing in terms of LGBTQ representation. And they consulted nobody. They didn't do anything. Like, they just sort of were like, this is what we're going to tell the queer people what they need.
Right.
And this is what they should be happy with what we give them. And so the characters ended up acting super out of character. Mm-hmm. There was a whole bunch of stuff
I did hear about that.
And yeah, exactly. It didn't add up. And people were super, super upset. And, because of that, it just caused all of this drama. And it just so reminded me of everything that happened in Teen Wolf. And especially with Derek in seasons 2 through 4, pretty much. I mean, like, it was really, like, okay, there's a lot of behavior in in those seasons that is plot driven, not character.
Well, the idea of Derek still being there after season 2 is 100% plot driven. And so they have to find a way to bring Derek to interact with Scott and them, because they're going to keep him on. They need to have him be part of the story. But instead of creating a character for him, they just kind of slot him into like a pre-existing kind of thing. And so you never resolve his story. You never figure out kind of like, hey, what has shaped you? And then how has that changed you?
At that point, the obvious direction to take is to have Styles always running to Derek when he wants to get more information, and having that be what drags Derek into Scott, even in a heterosexual situation.
Right. One would assume, yeah.
Styles is that curious, I'm going to take a risk to get some knowledge type of person.
But you know that they would not, they wouldn't accept, they didn't want to do any Steric. And so then it became, well, let's get the girl version of Steric, or girl version of Styles and the girl version of Derek. And then it's like you get Cora and Jennifer.
At the time of season 2, we are not yet at the point where I think the show was scared of it.
I think they were. I think they...
You think already from the get-go?
I think that it was
the whole time it was damage control then?
I feel like it was, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just personally, especially looking back and as the years go by, it's just like, I will say, well, I won't say, but, not necessarily.
That scene where Stephen Ford, has that line.
Yeah, you two make a pretty good pair.
Make a cute couple. Like, if they were scared of it, you would think they would avoid it.
I won't say, okay, so I won't say that they were scared of it. I'll say that for them, they tried to put forward the facade that it was always heterosexual. But I think they finally figured out that nobody believed that. Like, there's literally a video of Hecklin at some convention, and he was talking about, the way he gets along with Styles, and he was like, yeah, I think me and Styles get along really well. I don't see why people don't see that or something. But I can't remember who he was referring to, but it was someone like show related. It was something kind of like that. And someone in the audience was like, that's because they don't know that you're married like we do. And then he just busted up laughing. And it was just one of those things where I just don't think a relationship aspect ever got to them. I think it was all sex. They want you to have sex. And right. So I think that's what they were avoiding.
And like, I'm so used to accepting less than what I deserve as far as it comes from television shows.
Right.
That at the time, and probably even now, even though I have a little bit more self-respect for myself, I would have taken heterosexual, like, little brother,
definitely.
Brother, always bugging Derek, Styles, and, oh, God, I guess I'll help you out this time, kid. Kind of like thing.
Yeah.
But we didn't get that.
It's just, it was 100, it was just like Ethan said, 100% a turn in the wrong direction and running at top speed away from the right answer.
By splitting them up the way they did and only giving us pieces, they made it more forbidden and just made every interaction they had more powerful.
More taboo, yeah. And then it just made it more desirable. But then it also messed them up because then the plot really, you have this thing where you have to have Derek with them. He needs to, he has a contract. He needs to be there. We need to have him here in a way that makes sense. To continue splitting up Derek and Styles means that you're going to split up Scott and Styles, and then you're going to have Derek and Scott. Well, we're Styles. And so you just have all these things where instead of having, that's why we never got a cohesive pack. Like, there has been maybe one or two episodes that I can name where we got all of their so-called pack in a room together at one time.
And that's the thing, is that this show seriously did not understand the importance of pack in werewolf media.
Exactly.
Because, like, it was so broken, and they only used the idea of pack as a plot device.
Yes. And so it's just like, well, okay. And like, they finally got to the point where they're like, oh, we need to give Scott a progeny. I guess we should actually put another werewolf in this pack. And then we get Liam. So it's just like, it's just nonsense.
And you're just like, oh, right.
Right.
Well, shit.
I guess we didn't need that after all.
They make the true alpha a crap alpha to his beta. Like, really?
They just, they make so many bad decisions, and all it does is turn fandom against each other. But messy. All right.
Watch the show, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, let's get this started. Philip, go ahead. I think it's going to do the previouslys first. I need to grab something real quick.
Oh, shoot, did it?
Entertain the people.
Oh, okay.
Philip.
Oh, well, if we're here, I will talk to you while I'm walking, but I'm going to go grab a beer because I feel like I need something.
Yikes. Okay. So wait, you can hear me still? And you can talk?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you think about everything that happened with Roswell?
I actually stopped watching after the third episode because I could tell what was happening, and I just, you know what? I was really focusing on finishing, what's that other stupid show you told me to watch? You didn't tell me to watch it, I think. It's The Order.
Yeah, The Order. Wait, did you finish it?
Yes, my friend told me not to watch it. He says, don't waste your time, it's a bunch of crap. I thought it was kind of cute.
It's cute. It's a cute show.
I mean, the consistency of, like, all of the stuff is like, oh my god, this is terrible. But it's just so cute. The only thing I was missing was, like, really hot guys.
Yeah.
So there's, like, what? 1, 2?
Yeah, I mean, like, I personally am a big fan of Randall, who is also in The Magicians. So,
yeah, I like
yeah, Todd. Yeah, he's adorable. Like, what a cute actor. He's just cute. And so, like, having him in The Order, I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. And he's just, like, I didn't like what happened with his, character and who he ended up with and everything like that, but hopefully in the second season, maybe if they get it, they'll explore him potentially being bi, because there was a couple hints.
Yeah, there was a few hints.
Yeah, so I'm hoping, and, there's that. But yeah, I mean, like, so there's been so much drama, and, like, obviously I feed off of it in regards to Roswell. And, like, God bless Tahir, right? For getting all up in these people's, all up in these writers' grills.
Oh, is that Grisono?
What? No, it's on Twitter, he's AJ Raven.
Oh, okay.
He's the Geekery writer. And, yeah. And so he got called out by, I think it's Tahir is his name. I can.
Isn't it Farir?
Farir. We have a Tahir. Okay. Farid. That's what it is. It's Farid. There we go. Yeah, see? Okay. We did this together. So he literally, like, called this writer out and, like, she wrote back saying, like, this is the most, not character assassination, but, like, this is the most, like, targeted attempt to, like, discredit me as a writer, all of this stuff. And I was just like, sis.
Why are they engaging? Like, as a writer, at some point, once it's past, like, you like, I love your work, you just let it go.
So, one of the things, I think, is because he's so loud, which is fine. Like, that's great. Like, that's his thing, right? Like, he is gonna get up in their face about it.
He's literally, like, a member of the press.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, of course. Yeah, exactly. Like, anything that gets clicks is gonna be great. So it's like, you're giving him clicks. So, like, go off, I guess. But, so when that happened or whatever, he was kind of just like, well, first Jeff Davis, now Karina. Like,
Oh my god.
and I was just like, yikes, dude. So, no, but I love seeing all of this drama sort of unfold because she falls into the same sort of mistakes, except instead of actually being a part of the community, she has writers and people, queer people of color that she consults to write the story.
Like, so the way I see it is that it's on. I get it. Like, if this were a straight couple, this situation would be whatever.
Right.
You know, because
Exactly.
it happens all the time.
Exactly.
I think you give people hope, and then you pull this, and it's not another guy. Then it's a little like, ugh.
Yep.
But then you also have to consider that it is representation for bi people and how they feel. But then you're also feeding into the stereotype that bi people will always go back to their heterosexual, like, gender-identified tendencies when things get too hard.
Right, exactly. And I think...
But then...
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, but it's also a teen drama. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely. So on some regards, I totally get that. Like I said, like, I'm just enjoying the drama for what it is.
And honestly, like, I think they'll find that they're not going to get as much attention as you would in a triangle if it were a heterosexual one.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not there yet.
Right.
Because right now what it becomes is like, oh my god, you got your gay pairing and go away.
Yes, absolutely. And like, well, the thing is, now they're trying to bait it. So, you have to keep watching because you never know what's going to happen.
I mean, I think they will put them back together.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to put them back together and take them apart and put them back together over and over again.
It's Roswell.
Those two are dynamite.
Roswell, yeah.
All right.
Oh, by the way, guys, it just came out on Netflix today, so if you want to help Mallets get back together, make sure you plug in and watch and stream.
You know, someone was like, I guess there was some study that said that teen suicides have gone up since 13 Reasons Why came out. And
it has more to do with Trump than a TV show.
Well, I'm like, yeah, why would they make a TV show? Well, I was mad when I heard about the TV show. Because whatever. But I'm like, you're canceling so many other good shows where if you put the marketing into them the same way you did with 13 Reasons Why, they might actually have a freaking chance.
Oh, are we talking about All American now?
Oh, no, I was talking about, like One Day at a Time and, Santa Clara Diet. Santa Clara?
You know, I had to stop watching One Day at a Time because it was not as plot driven and like that kind of sitcom thing. I don't have a very it's hard for me to be consistent with them. Like, I mean, I have the same problem with Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Will and Grace and all those other ones because there's not really an overarching plot. It's just, this is what's going on in my life today.
Yeah. But I mean, it is a sitcom, but it is great for, like, representation.
But yeah, I mean, I did watch, like, 3/4 of the first season, and it was cute, and I loved it. It was very good writing.
I heard it was adorable.
I mean, it really did a good mix of bringing in Cuban culture, but it wasn't so foreign that you were wondering what's going on the whole time.
Gotcha. Oh, are they Cuban? Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I think they're Cuban.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get this party started.
Okay, can y'all give me, like, 2 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, so...
What's been going on with you, Ethan?
Oh, we were just catching up on the Roswell drama, so... Yeah, always fun to watch. And
you don't watch...
got called out.
You don't watch Game of Thrones.
I do not,
but I enjoy the memes. Insane. Oh, that's what I was supposed to look at the memes today.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
and, like, I know the whole plot because of the memes. So, like, it's like I'm watching, but I just can't bear.
the last
Can't put myself
episode
through that.
was called The Long Night, and it ended up also being the long episode because it ended up being like an hour and a half long. And I said, I had 3 episodes to catch up on. I said, I'm going to catch up on these tonight. So I watched one when I went home, and then I took a break, watched another one, because not knowing that the last one was so much longer. Man, when I tell you that episode was intense. And on HBO Go, like, they show you kind of little scenes. I had to go forward a little bit just to make sure. And then I had to go back and, like, actually live through. There was so much. It was really, really well done. But I was just like, this is too much.
I am back.
Hi.
Oh, right. We have to watch that episode now.
Are you really going to make us do 2?
We'll see.
We'll see, okay.
But the sooner we can do it, the sooner we can get it done. But we can also try next week, push comes to shove. Who are these 2 people kissing?
What are you talking about?
Oh, so the other 2 is a show with, what do you call it? I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. The other 2 is basically this show about this kid who is a pop star, and then he has 2 older siblings. And so those 2 other siblings. Yeah, and it has Drew Tarver, who I love. And it's so funny because it just completely went under the radar. And I was like, I've never heard of the show because Drew Tarver was supposed to be in the How I Met Your Father remake. And then, other than podcasts, he just disappeared for me. I enjoyed Jack Ryan.
Oh, the show? It was good.
It's decent. All right.
Wait, can y'all see anything?
No.
I heard there was a party. I invited myself.
Stop playback. And then go to Teen Wolf, and we're watching season 2. Why are you being annoying right now?
Because we're ready, and it's like, no, you ain't. Not without me.
There it is. Okay, not season 6.
Oh, God.
Definitely not doing that.
Never season 6.
That was such a mess.
It was rough. That is my claim to fame moment. I'm talking to Haley about that and being like, that's what Olive Garden is for. Don't ever do this again. We're getting there, y'all. Okay, woo, we got a picture.
Not yet. I heard there was a party. Don't worry. I invited myself.
No.
Our sons are trained to be soldiers. Our daughters to be leaders.
Cannabis seeks a master. Someone's controlling him.
What if it's Matt and this whole thing comes back to the video, right?
You need a digital camera.
He looks so angry.
I'm starting to feel weird about this. This doesn't have anything to do with Allison, does it?
You have a little thing for Allison, Matt? No crush?
No. You think I'm gonna waste my time by doing something as unbelievably ordinary as...
Oh, we're pressing play now.
What are you doing?
Documenting history. We'll get back tomorrow.
Oh, Colton started following Leafy again. And he and Holland started liking stuff. So we'll see what happens. Look at that technology, y'all. You stream.
Oh, it's super.
Son of a bitch. I knew you're lying.
Oh, he said documented history. went to sleep fast.
Look at Colin popping and locking.
Right? But why would he pick Matt? Oh, why is he crying? Is he scared? I don't know. Where is this connection coming
It
from?
pretty when he's scared.
Oh, Lord. Ring it in, Philip. Oh, okay. I was like, Mr. Leahy. Oh, he's saying I killed them for you? But he didn't even know Matt then. I don't understand. Haha. Maybe Jackson sensed the anger, revenge in Matt. But he'd already done stuff for Matt before even meeting him. There you go, that's it! I can't believe they shot that scene without, like, a cup. We've seen Colton nudes, haven't we?
No.
401.
That's unfortunate.
Like, completely?
Yeah.
No.
He has that sex scene in that movie where you see the ass.
But there's no D.
There's no D.
D
There's
or
the
bust.
A, but no D.
D or bust. All right. Executive producer Jeff Davis.
Okay. So, using the flashback of the killing to show, like, Matt wants Jackson, the Kanama, to kill Mr. Leahy is just so dumb because it implies that he has some prophetic knowledge of how it would happen. So, like, is the Kanama...
Oh, no, I thought that was a vision. I thought that was...
Yeah, like, is the Kanama psychic or is Matt psychic?
No, I think that...
Because this hasn't happened yet.
I think... Wait, no, it has happened. He's already killed Mr. Leahy.
No, this is a flashback. This is at the point when Jackson was videotaping himself before Leahy died.
Right, so... Oh, Lord, we have a flashback and a flashback. But by the time that he met Matt, wasn't Mr. Leahy already dead? Or was he had to have been because, well, wow.
Because
I never considered that.
Have gone after Mr. Leahy without Matt.
Exactly.
So, like, using the footage of the murder makes no sense unless one of them is psychic. Or, I mean, unless one of them can tell the future.
It says,
it should have just been a picture.
Mr. Leahy was killed in...
Mr. Leahy.
Claire says, Mr. Leahy was killed in 202. Doesn't Jackson go to kill him after he and Matt connect? So if it was after, then someone is psychic. Or maybe he's... Oh.
I mean, it's just bad.
Across the street.
Editing and directing or whatever, but...
That's an odd choice. It's something,
yeah, I mean,
and again, it's one of those things that you never consider the first time around because it's just like, oh, cute boys being cute. But the second you peel back even the teeniest bit of layer, it all just goes up in.
See, what the footage should have been was Mr. Leahy pushing Matt out of the party, like whatever happened with that swim party.
It should have been him pushing him into the pool, but then that would have been. But it should have been. It should have been, yeah, him. And then Matt when he was a child. And then that's all we see. That's all we know. It doesn't have to be him pushing him into the pool or being mean, but just so that we know he has some connection to Leahy.
But it wasn't. So.
Because they try. All right, let's keep going.
All right, we are at 4:01 and play.
So this kid's a real killer.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Dad, come on. Everybody knows that the police look for ways to connect victims in a murder, okay? So all they had to do was, look through their transcripts and figure out which class they all had in common.
Yeah, except for the fact that the rave promoter, Kara, wasn't in Harris's class.
All right, okay, you're right. Sorry. Then I guess they dropped the charges against him?
No, you know what? They're not dropping the charges. But that doesn't prove anything. Scott, do you believe this?
It's really hard to explain how we know this, but you just gotta trust us. We know it's Matt.
Yeah, he took Harris's car, okay? Look, he knew that if a cop found tire tracks at one of the murders, and that if enough of the victims were in Harris's class, that they'd arrest him.
All right, fine. I'll allow the remote possibility, but give me a motive. I mean, why would this kid want most of the 2006 swim team and its coach dead?
Isn't it obvious? Our swim team sucks. Harris won in 6 years. Okay, we don't have a motive yet. Come on, does Harris?
He's so pretty.
Oh, pretty.
Is the audio off for you
Yeah,
guys?
that would be in the station.
We can hear it.
No longer work.
Trust me, they'll let you in.
Yeah, dude, trust you?
Trust Scott.
Scott, I trust.
Rude.
This is where it started.
I know. I was from the beginning. Hey, Tamara.
2 in the morning.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't extremely important.
Get the hospital stuff first. Okay?
Why?
Because all the murders were committed by Jackson except for one. You remember? The pregnant girl. Jessica. Yeah. Since Matt had the killer himself, somebody from the hospital could have seen him.
Thank you. Boys,
Should I go? Styles get in trouble.
I mean, look at this. There was a 6-car pileup that night. The hospital was
All
jammed.
right, just keep going. Look, he had to pass one of the cameras on that floor to get to Jessica, okay? He's got to be on the footage somewhere. Oh, hold on. Stop. Did you see that? Scroll back. That's him. That's Matt.
What night was this?
Jackson's head. Matt's head, yeah. I sit behind him in history. He's got a very distinct cranium. It's weird.
Are you crazy?
All right, fine. Then look at his jacket, huh? How many people do you know who wear black leather jackets?
Millions? Literally?
Okay, can we scroll forward? There's got to be a shot of him coming at one of the cameras.
Right there. Stop. See, there he is again.
You mean there's the back of his head again?
Okay, look. He's talking to someone.
Oh, Miss McCall.
Ooh, the plot thickens.
You know how many people I deal with in a day?
This one's 16. He's got dark hair. Looks like a normal teenager.
He looks evil.
Matt, I already talked to the police about this.
Okay, Mom, I'm gonna take a picture and send it to you. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Recognize him? Do you remember him?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I remember I stopped him because he was tracking mud in the hall. Scott, what's going on?
It's nothing, Mom. I'll explain later. I gotta go.
We've got shoe prints alongside the tire tracks at the trailer site.
And if they match, that puts Matt at the scene of 3 murders. The trailer, the hospital, and the rave.
Actually, 4. A credit card receipt for an oil change was signed by Matt at the garage where the mechanic was killed.
When?
A couple hours before you got there.
All right, Dad, if 1's an incident, 2's a coincidence, and 3's a pattern, what's 4?
4's enough for a warrant.
Ooh.
Scott, call your mom back, see how quick she can get. If I get an official
Styles
ID,
is ridiculous.
search warrant. So I'll go to the front desk.
Tell
I'll
him.
let Scott's mom in when she gets here.
On it.
Hello?
How dare they? Dare no! So rude. Oh, I forgot about that scene. He is pretty. Oh!
Can you hear me?
Look at the nips.
I need you to answer me, Garrett. Garrett! Don't have much time.
Oh.
What was it? You're gonna be weak for several hours.
There's no Dean Derek fic. I need that to change.
Dean's his daddy, of course not. Well, that ain't gonna stop you.
I'm about to say.
It actually happened. Don't worry. You're still an alpha. But, as usual, not a particularly competent one.
Rude.
Where is he?
You ain't teach me nothing.
And how about you tell me what you're doing here? And why you're helping me?
Helping your family actually used to be a pretty important part of my life. Helping you was a promise I made to your mother.
Who I boned.
One you didn't follow very
My
well.
sister talked about. She said you're a kind of advisor.
She was right. And I have some advice that you need to listen to very closely right now. What Peter managed to do doesn't come without a price. He'll be physically weak, so he'll rely on the strength of his intelligence, his cunning. He's gonna come at you, Derek. He'll try to twist his way inside your head, preying on your insecurities. He'll tell you that he's the only way you can stop Gerard. Do not trust him.
Because we're going to use you.
I know. If you did, you might be the alpha you like to think you are. And unfortunately, the one person you should trust doesn't trust you at all.
Styles.
He's with Stilinski right now. You need to find him. You need to find him as fast as you can. I've known Gerard for a long time. He always has a plan. And something tells me it's going exactly the way he wants it to.
And you too.
Well, that's, I'm like, when exactly did this plan start?
Sheriff.
Well, it had to have been before this day because Scott was already switching the pills here.
It's Matt, right? Now, whatever's going on, I guarantee.
But then
there's a
that
solution.
speech was ridiculous.
No, it's funny you say that because I don't think you're aware of just how right you are.
I know you don't want to hurt people.
Actually, I want to hurt a lot of people. You three weren't on my list, but I could be persuaded. And one way is to try dialing somebody on your cell phone like McCall is doing. That could definitely get someone hurt. Everyone. Now!
Come on.
Tiger. Kinky.
Do what he says, Styles.
He's a kinky. I'm like, he's got one gun and there are three of y'all.
What, are you gonna kill everyone in here? No, that's what Jackson's for. I just think about killing him. And he does it.
So that must have been his... that must have been his fantasy, was killing Leahy like that. And then Jackson's like, I could do that.
I don't want to talk. I understand.
No, you don't.
I'm not sure if there's anything I can say.
Then shut up.
I won't pretend to know what you're going through. Of course. I just wanted to give you something from your mother. Partly because I couldn't help noticing that things have been kind of difficult between you two. But it can wait.
Oh, I would hate... Oh, how did they not all kill him?
Oh, really, sweetheart. It can wait. You get some rest.
What is it?
As you know, your mother wrote a suicide note to explain away our difficult situation to the police. She wrote this note to explain it to you. If I give this to you, you have to destroy it immediately. You burn it. You promise?
Yes.
I want you to know she asked me to read it.
No!
That was private between the two of you. But she wanted my thoughts. As I said before, I don't know what you're going through. I wasn't close to my own mother. But reading this made me sorry I hadn't tried to be. Because If this were my mother, if these words were written for me, I don't know how I could sit still until someone paid for her death. Any pity I'd have for Derek and his pack would be burned out by a white-hot desire.
After this scene, press pause, Philip.
Or a kind of blood and destruction that would have...
After the scene.
Oh.
Derek and his wolves howling not for mercy, but for their own sweet deaths.
All right, press pause. You've forgotten already. So, Gerard is ridiculous. And this is what Jeff Davis does that bugs the crap out of me. He always goes too far. Mm-hmm. It makes no sense that this man is so terribly, dastardly evil. And he was on the show for 6 seasons. To the same with Kate. They had no business being there for as long as they were. And especially Gerard with this live... Because it's like, why would it be Derek and his wolves? Like, now you're just campaigning for yourself. And of course, Allison is dumb enough to fall for it. So... Mm-hmm.
Another disservice that they do to female characters.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Just prey on all their emotions and then, have them agreeing to something that's dumb. Now, we know that Scott had started Oh, go ahead.
To his credit, Scott does it too. He buys into any story anyone gives him. And it's like, oh.
That's true.
Well, no, he buys into any story that anyone gives him who is in his best interest.
Right.
So if he wants...
that fits his vision or narrative.
Yeah. And so it's just like, well, okay. I do wonder if maybe the plan had to be twofold. But see, I don't see that either, unless they were originally planning to have Peter do it, which again doesn't make sense. So is Deedon trying to manipulate Derek? What is Deedon's goal? And that's a huge part of kind of what the issue with Deedon was.
You're right. Because if the plan was already in effect, then
what was that conversation?
Deedon was trying to make sure that Derek didn't lose his alpha to Peter before they could force him to bite Gerard.
Oh my God.
So their plan could go into effect. Oh my God, it's even worse.
And so people don't understand why people write evil Deedon or dark Deedon and that kind of thing. And they're like, he's never done anything wrong but try to help those kids. And we're like, that's not true. Like, it's clearly on the screen that he's done some shady nonsense. Now, I love me, because...
Even Scott.
Huh?
Even with Scott, he took his long-ass time before explaining to Scott that he knew what was going on.
Oh, yeah. And so it's like, but I remember when I was watching the first time, I didn't mind it. I was like, if I had to deal with these pissant kids too, I wouldn't tell them a thing. I'd be like, look, you are on a need-to-know basis. So, it's just very...
Look, the storyline that Deedon was, like, retired or just tired of being an emissary works if they had given it backstory. But we never get it.
We never get it. We just get, I used to love your mama. I don't even know.
That's such a throwaway line.
Oh, God.
Like, they just threw it in there, and then it's like, okay, you loved her so much, and so you promised to take care of her kid, and then you just abandoned them?
And then you just abandoned them for 6 years.
And then it could have been like, oh, he blamed Derek for Talia's death. But then what does that have to do with Laura?
Oh, and then he was like, you suck as an alpha, and if you do this, then maybe you'll be the alpha you're supposed to be. And I'm like, have you taught me anything? Do we have lessons where you teach me about being a good alpha? Like, why would you think that this is something I know about, sir?
I mean, let's remember that the last time Derek had an alpha to model was, 16?
Yeah. Oh, that's sad.
And he is question mark years old.
That's unfortunate. I didn't even consider that. That's 100% true. Lord.
He wasn't the perspective alpha either, so that's where all of these stories come from, and where all of this sympathy for Derek comes from, because if you put Derek's actions into context...
Oh, they hate to put Derek into context.
It's heartbreaking. You put Scott's actions in context or Zeden's, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, is we don't know how old Laura was. We can assume 18. She could have been older, could have been younger. But it's just, there's just so much. And then this idea that the emissary wouldn't have been known to the pack has always bothered me too. Because I'm like, there's no reason for that.
Oh, I read a fic that does it where only the...
I've probably read that too.
Where only the
right
alpha
hand
can see the emissary, and like to everyone else in the pack, they just don't even see the emissary.
Oh wow! Oh, I haven't heard that before. I read the ones where Claudia used to be their emissary, and then when she died, that's when like Deedon took over and all this other crap. So it was interesting. All right, we can press play. Matt shredding his phone.
We are at 14:53 in 3, 2, 1, play.
Deleted. And we're done. Okay, so, Matt, since all the people you brutally murdered deserved it because they killed you first, whatever that means, we're good here, right? I'll just get my dad and we'll go. You know, you continue on the whole vengeance thing. Enjoy the Canamo. Mom's
Matt, don't do this. When she comes to the door, I'll just tell her to leave. I'll tell her we didn't find anything. Please, Matt.
If you don't move, now I'm gonna kill Styles first. And then your mom.
He doesn't care until it's his mom.
Open it. Please, open the door.
Why don't they just beat him? I don't know. You're a werewolf, Scott. You're gonna heal.
Oh, thank God.
Gross. Jacksama. See, and why would you really burn it? Because I would have checked my grandpa's handwriting, because I bet Gerard wrote whatever's in that letter. She's got an A paperweight.
They didn't earn this part. They needed to read what was in that letter.
Yes, exactly. Well, just like Derek's thing with his mom. Derek's conversation with his mom. And suddenly she told him everything.
Yeah, and we didn't see that at all.
Yep. She's such a riot girl. Like, you know you're gonna have to clean that up, sis. Malia was such a downgrade.
This is the one controlling him? This kid?
Well, Derek, not everyone's lucky enough to be a big, bad werewolf.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I've learned a few things lately. Werewolves, hunters, cannibals. It's like a freaking Halloween party every full moon. Except for you, Styles.
What do you turn into? Abominable snowman. But it's more of like a wintertime thing, you know, seasonal.
Oh.
Bitch.
Iconic. Iconic.
Oh, I don't know, Derek. I think you two make a pretty good pair.
Yay!
It must kind of suck, though. Have all that power taken away from you with just a little cut to the back of the neck. I bet you're not used to feeling this helpless.
Still got some teeth. Get down here a little closer, huh? We'll see how helpless I am.
Yeah, bitch.
I wonder if he improvised that.
I won't even let Jackson near her. God, don't trust him. This work better for you? Okay, just stop. Stop and do what I tell you to. Okay.
All right, Matt. Oh, snap. Wump Styles, y'all. God, Dylan is so good.
With me.
Mom?
Like, you got to go, Mama.
Where is everyone?
Mom, just do what he says. He promised you wouldn't hurt you. He's right.
Thank you! Oh, they're so stupid.
But I didn't say I wouldn't hurt you. Back! Mom, stop, Mom!
Like, why she didn't rush him?
I said, get back.
Scott.
No, you're gonna have to shoot me.
Please, Mom. Get up a call. Matt, listen to me. Shut up! Everybody shut the hell up! Now get up, or I shoot her next.
Oh, they're the worst.
Please. He needs to see a doctor.
I think so. Hey, you listen to me. It's all right. I'm okay.
No, honey, you're not okay.
It doesn't hurt, Mom.
Because that's the adrenaline. Okay, please, let me just take a look at him, okay? I mean, I can help stop the bleeding.
They have no idea, do they?
Please, let me just take a quick look at him.
Shut up! Lady, if you keep talking, I'm gonna put the next bullet through his head.
Okay.
Dang, loves her.
Back to the front of the call. After you.
What does he want? Like, what?
The evidence is gone. Why don't you just
Well,
go?
he wanted the evidence deleted.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I want the book. What book? The bestiary. Not just a few pages. I don't have it.
That was when he cracked up.
What do you want it for anyway? I need answers. Answers to what? To this.
All right, press pause for a second.
I was gonna say, I gotta go pee. I'll be right
Oh,
back.
okay. Okay. So, Lord, Argent family feels are always so tragic. I love Dylan. And him, like, bringing up those tears. He's always been able to cry on cue. And people who cry on cue worry me, but also amaze me. I'm like, what's going on? What are you dragging up? Oh yeah, Snowman Styles fix. I know. I don't even know. Where is the bestiary at this point? I know Peter has one on his computer. Does Allison still have it?
I mean, it was in that tablet, so I guess. I mean, I'm assuming that everyone has it.
At this point, like, everyone has their own copy?
I mean, everyone should. I mean, I don't know why Styles doesn't have one on his phone.
Right. Or he probably does. He's just not telling anyone. If I had a bestiary, I would just make it so, like, I could just talk and then it would bring up what I was looking for. And that is...
It's hard because it's in multiple languages. If it was all English, it would be easy.
Yeah, instead of the archaic Latin. For even though they're
but like,
French.
why why do the Argents have a bestiary that's in multiple languages and have not been updating it as time passed?
They probably, well, no, I'm about to say they had to have someone who spoke the language. Their name is Argent. We were talking.
I get French, but like French has changed through the centuries, so you can't just rely on modern French to read, old French.
Oh God, no.
Ethan, we were talking about Dylan's ability to cry on cue, and just how good he was in that part, even that little part.
I know it's so great. I can cry on cue thinking about happy things.
I can't cry on cue. It takes me, like, I have to be like in the moment. Something just has to hit me.
Yeah.
I've never tried.
Try it now.
The other day,
Derek died, Philip. Derek died. The other day, what?
About 2 months ago. Oh. I was training a trainee, and he told me that at the Boston Aquarium they have a little pool where you can pet stingrays.
Ooh.
And because I love stingrays.
Oh my God.
They're babies. They're baby stingrays.
Little babies.
And I teared up. I literally stared him in the face. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?"
Mine is always like really touching moments. Like there was a moment in Game of Thrones that was very touching, and the girl, she gave this huge smile at the end, and I was like, yeah, it's just like so perfect. So perfect.
All up in your feels.
Yeah. Oh, I will tell you. So my other time of crying is of course during movies that are like dramatic. One time I went and I saw the other something. It was the Angelina Jolie movie where she lost her kid, and then they returned a kid to her that was not her kid. And she's like, "That's not my kid." And they're like, "Of course it is." And he's like, "Yeah, mommy, I'm your kid." And she was like, "Oh."
What's that?
And there was a scene. It was me and this other lady. We were the only two people in the theater. And there was this scene, and we ended up sitting by each other. But there was a scene where you could tell that she figured out that her kid was dead and there was no hope. She was never going to see him. And I bawled. I was like, "Ah!" And then the lady next to me, she held out her hand, and so I grabbed her hand, and we're holding hands and just bawling in this theater, oh man. And yeah, it was great. I was just like, oh, crazy.
Almost every episode of Queer Eye makes me cry.
Yeah, I can't watch it. I can't watch it. I remember.
It's so freaking real.
Yes.
You know what also made me cry was This Is Us, and I've only seen pieces
snippets
of it when my sister was watching it, and it's horrible.
Yes, it is the worst when it comes to just melodrama. I do remember. Do you remember that Amy Grant show, The Three Wishes, where they would grant wishes of people? I never watched the show, but there was legit a commercial. And in the commercial, this dad, he wants to adopt his stepson because the original dad died in the military, and he died at war. And so then the mom, got remarried, and he was like, "I want to adopt you as my stepson." And the little boy was crying, and the dad, and I was bawling. It was like a 30-second commercial, and I was just like, no.
Laid you out.
Oh my goodness. I was like, y'all can't have my joy, but here, take it. I was like, unless I give it to you.
Videos where the little kid asks their step parent who basically raised them if they would be their dad.
Yes.
It's just too cool.
I can't do it. I'm like, oh. So yeah, good times.
This episode is I don't understand Scott's, like, idea that he can, like, negotiate with people. Like, someone good.
Right. Right.
He's not
Well, because
good
he doesn't offer anything. This whole time, it took him forever to be like, Matt, why are you still here? And then, you know, this is on Styles too. Even with Styles, where where he was like, because they killed you first, whatever that means. And I'm like, ask him what it means. Get him talking. Get him monologuing. You have a werewolf, a sheriff in you, and all he has is one gun. There's not so much damage that he can do if Scott gets in front of him.
Technically, all he has to do is think about one of them, and the Kanema will attack.
But just throw him on top of, throw him on top. Use him as a shield.
If Scott, so, I mean, you risk Matt thinking about the sheriff or Melissa as soon as he gets jumped. But, I mean, I would think you would think about Scott, so if you knock out Matt, then he's not awake to think of anyone else, and then you could...
Right!
You know...
Yeah.
I don't know if that disables the Kanema, if Master not being conscious.
I don't know.
It would be the scenario I would want to try out, other than giving him time to kill everyone.
Exactly,
or
and locking people
like,
up.
I don't have it, or he could have been like, I don't have the bestiary with me, but I can take you to go get it.
He didn't...
Get him out of there.
You mean Styles Pints? I don't think Styles had the story yet. Because we didn't have the story.
I don't think so, because he was still trying to figure out how Matt was connected.
Yeah, how Matt was even connected. Same problem with... Yeah. Oof. All right.
What was Matt even doing at that party? Was he delivering food or what?
I thought did they invite him?
Or was he friends with Isaac?
I don't remember.
But that's just fic, right?
Yeah, that's definitely fic. That is definitely a fic.
That is fic, yeah.
Wait, Pints, who got what story? Yeah, Matt went with Allison to the rave. Who got what story? As kids. What? Make it clear. Oh, he went over to swap a comic with Isaac? What?
You see, I thought that was what it was. It was something like that. But I couldn't tell if it was a fic that I read or if it is actually something that they vaguely talked about on the show.
Styles, Eric, and Isaac were all in the room once they drugged Jackson. Oh, no.
What? He got the story in Raving. Jackson doesn't tell them in Raving.
Jackson doesn't know. Matt went to...
Matt was Isaac.
Well, yeah, we get that part. But when does Matt tell this story? Because it couldn't have been in Raving. Who did he tell it to? Because there's no way Allison knows this story.
Is there? I mean, I could have just not been paying attention because, like, my mind kind of goes away when...
You leave that girl. Yes, at the rave, he is there when Matt is speaking through what?
When Matt is speaking through Jackson, there's a scene where Matt is controlling the Kanema and talking to the Beta Pack and Styles.
Right.
But I don't remember what they said.
I don't remember this at all.
I know it happened. I remember it. I just don't remember the content of the conversation Matt had.
Okay, wait. Where are we? Where are we? We're at 21:14. So okay, we're just gonna do this episode tonight because oh my god. Go find this. Pull up Raving. Because we got time. Okay. Yeah, we need to figure this out.
Can you write down the time?
I did. Oh, so that's where I thought that Matt just said that in the station. But Styles still says whatever that means. Like he doesn't know what they're talking about. Raving was the one where Erica had no lines, right?
Yeah.
Still
she
stupid.
showed up, went home, and collected her paycheck.
I guess so. Ooh, I just paid a lot of bills today, and it was very exciting.
Ooh.
So many, and I was like, yes, I'm done.
My roommate.
Done with you forever. What?
Bonus and in March, so it was a 3 paycheck month.
Oh, nice.
So he was rolling in dough.
Right?
Speaking of dough, this episode is not sponsored because I don't want to be sued. But I'm eating Half Baked by Ben & Jerry's.
Oh, yum. I heard Hannah was pretty good.
Sponsoring us, please email us.
Right. Okay, never mind. Hannah.
That's weird.
Although Euphoria on HBO looks like it's going to be great. It's Zendaya, and there's all kinds of gayness and trippiness in it.
Oh, what?
Yes, it's called Euphoria on HBO.
FYI, we are open to all sponsorship.
Ben & Jerry's, sponsor me.
They all knew each other, you know, and 2 of them were married, so maybe they all just hung out. Could have.
All right. Oh, here, I got it.
Controlling him just decided to show up tonight.
I'm here. I'm right here with you.
I think we were so concerned that Erica wasn't talking.
Couldn't get to your inhaler in time. Your school records show you have a...
We probably got distracted by this scene.
So no. So Scott, regardless, if Victoria shows up dead and they say that Derek did it, he knows that Victoria tortured him. So he has to give Derek some benefit of the doubt. So again, for not telling freaking Allison that, whatever. Okay, go ahead.
The thing was that Scott was not under the assumption that Derek killed Victoria, because then he would have been all pissed off at Derek, being like, you didn't have to kill her. But he wasn't. And then when Derek tells Allison you should tell her the truth in season 3 when they're in the bank safe, like, Scott knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Now, how long he knew that is probably the whole time. I mean, if you want to nitpick it for the, like, on the anti side, like, I guess you could say maybe he didn't know. But then, like, where was his reaction? There was no reaction.
Exactly.
Now you can make a fic where Scott was conflicted because, yes, Derek killed her, but he also saved him, and maybe he's got to be grateful for that or something, and he can struggle with it, but don't pretend it's canon.
And then, push comes to shove, he didn't even kill her. He just bit her, and she would have turned because she was about to turn. She killed herself.
Yeah.
Like, that's on you, homie.
And that just feeds into this idea that being a werewolf is worse than death.
Yep.
And if werewolves are supposed to be a metaphor for being a minority and outcast,
yep,
not the best message.
And that's
Let's be real, Jeff did not want this to represent a race issue.
I think he 100% did. I think he 100% did.
You think he did?
I think that the story got away from him. Because Jeff is a great starter. He is terrible at follow through. I think the story, I think he thought he was going to make a supernatural BSG. That he thought he was going to be the next big, like, because for his whole, we don't have any homophobia in our world and all this other stuff. But I'm like, you're clearly making this a conscious play. That's what we were talking about with the casting of Posey. I'm like, okay, so now you're calling Scott Latino, but you didn't change the script. Yeah, like your script is exactly the same. So now it's a metaphor, and then I think that he leaned into that. He was like, oh, okay, now here's what I can do to make it interesting. But I'm like, no, it's ridiculous. And then so again for Scott has never been resolved to being a werewolf. It took seasons upon seasons for him to even, and then by the time that he almost did get resolved, that's when he made Liam. And then even then, he never cared about the history. He never cared about werewolf dynamics, how to form a pack, how to keep a pack, how to do collaborations with other packs, and just the whole shebang.
Because drama is easy, story and follow through are not.
Are not. Exactly.
I mean, let's be real, Scott never embraces being a werewolf. And then once it gets to the point of Monroe hunting these people down, he's running like a supernatural underground railroad that these people can move somewhere else and stay hidden and hide who they are.
The fact that she was able to keep going for 2 years to the point where people were hiding out from her, that's Scott's fault. He had so many chances to kill her.
And then this idea that there isn't some supernatural hierarchy that combats hunters, that has the same hunter hierarchy, is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just, the whole thing is, ugh, annoying.
I get why maybe the state of California, its power structure was maybe fractured after the Hills died, if you want to go that way with it.
Mm-hmm.
But like the whole world,
yeah.
what's the deal with the whole world?
Exactly. Because Jackson was living in London, and now Isaac's in Paris, so it's like, but you're nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let's see if we can find the scene.
It's working.
What gets used to be here?
Go. Go! We're the ones killing murder. We're all here.
What about you? That's fine, Scott. Go. Go!
And anytime Derek tries to find Scott, he ends up getting hurt.
Jackson, is that you?
Us. We're all here.
Are you the one killing people?
We're the ones killing murderers.
Who's weird?
All the people you've killed so far.
Deserved it.
See, we got a little rule book that says you only go after murderers.
Anything can break if enough pressure's applied.
Alright, so the people you're killing are all murderers then?
All. Each. Every one.
Well, who did they murder?
Me.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
They murdered me.
Bong!
They murdered me.
Just making one mistake after another.
So, and then how is Matt...
No, it's okay.
Is he saying this in his head?
Okay.
Oh, no, you're fine. You just want to see some Malison.
I'm sorry. That was a huge mistake. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Actually, it's not okay. But I have to go make a call. So.
Okay. All right. More ketamine. The man needs ketamine. Come on.
We don't have any more.
You used the whole bottle.
Erica! Nah. Okay, press pause real quick.
Cut.
I like how these animals have, like, super strength. Like, these supernaturals have, like, the most super strength ever in some scenes, and then the next scene it's like, oh.
They're like completely helpless. Yes. So, okay. So he didn't tell the full story and he didn't talk about the pool or anything like that. Just that.
Purple Pipe, I thought you were talking about details, not the ones who killed me part.
And so, but oh my God, that's hilarious. They cut all her lines. And she did nothing but some vaudeville faces. She was like, oh.
Who, Erica?
Yeah, like patting stuff.
No, she was about, you could see it. She was about to say style,
yes.
And they cut it.
Oh my God.
They done cut her line.
That's even worse.
I know! They cut her line and they took it out.
This tribe was so funny. Oh, yay! Dumb root canals music. See, but glad you're here. That's hilarious. Okay, so yeah, let's go back, and then we were at 2114. Yeah. And then she was like, really, it's not okay. And I'm like, girl, why are you on this date with him?
She's totally using him, and it's like...
And she's terrible at it.
We're going to start a whole conversation about how you know it's okay to kiss someone.
But that's not even this situation, because she's using him so she doesn't even want to be there. And so it's like, he's looking at cues because she's flirting and, trying to act like she wants to be there when you can tell she really just does not.
You said 2114?
Yes.
Come on, little bunnies, go.
Previously on Teen Wolf.
Are you real?
He wants the bestiary.
It's not from Scott. He wouldn't have texted me. And he definitely wouldn't have mentioned Derek.
The sheriff's station.
If Derek's really there, I doubt it's willingly.
You think Jackson's there too?
Maybe. Maybe him and the one controlling him.
How many did they keep?
Why wouldn't it be willingly?
That's maybe four at the most. My guess would be they're either dead or paralyzed.
Arjun's guess is this kind of exposition is what makes me mad. There's no reason for Arjun to assume this. It's like, oh, well, if they're dead, then they must, or if they're there, they must be dead.
Maybe he means like Derek wouldn't be at the sheriff's station willingly.
Maybe. But even then, that's rude. Gross. Okay, go ahead.
This might just be the confluence of events we've been hoping for.
Confluence or conflagration?
I'm open to both.
What do we do now?
My mom just died.
Authority falls to you now.
Why are they doing any of this?
Not at her age.
She's almost 18. She knows there's a difference between revenge and retribution. Don't you, Allison?
Allison.
Make the decision from a vantage point of strategy over emotion. And we'll follow your lead.
I want Terry dead.
What about Scott?
Wait a minute.
Scott's not the one who forced my mother to kill herself.
He's not exactly an innocent bystander either. You can't pick and choose.
But I can prioritize. And the priority right now is Derek.
And what about the others? Derek's pack?
If they try and protect him, then we kill them.
I'd be like, you gotta get out of my house.
Hey, you know what's happening to Matt? Now the book's not gonna help him. You can't just break the rules, not like this. What do you mean? Universe balances things out. Always does.
Is it because he's using Jackson to kill people who don't deserve it?
And killing people himself.
So that breaks the rules of the camera. He becomes the camera.
Balance.
Will he believe us if we tell him that?
Not likely.
Okay, he's gonna kill all of us when he gets that book, isn't he?
Yep.
Alright, so what do we do? Do we just sit here and wait to die?
Unless I can figure out a way to push the toxin out of my body faster. Like triggering the healing process.
Oh, gross.
Oh, that was his face when he said he didn't like penises.
You know, I feel sorry for you, McCall. Because right now you're thinking, how am I going to explain this when it heals? And the sad part is you don't even realize how incredible it is that you actually are healing. Because you know what happens with everyone else when they get shot. They die.
So what happened to you?
I was to say, did you get shot, Matt? I didn't think you did.
You drowned, didn't you?
What?
You shouldn't have let them drink.
Because he's scared of water.
Well,
He
Matt,
freaked
what
out
do
at
you
the
mean?
pool.
Lee!
But Scott wouldn't have made this.
You should have let them drink.
What, who was drinking?
The swim team, you idiot! I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know they had just won state. And Leahy's letting his favorites come over to have a couple drinks to celebrate. Who cares that they're 17, right?
Were you at Isaac's?
He had his first edition Spider-Man.
Here we go.
Batman. And we were going to make a trade. But then I'm over there and I hear music. And everyone's having a good time. And I see Sean. He throws Jessica in the pool. And then Bennett goes in. And
Bennett? What? The hunter?
Scott's the worst.
And then Camden. Isaac's jarhead brother. He grabs me.
Parrish.
He thinks it's funny.
They threw you in.
Oh, God.
I yell that I can't swim, but nobody listens. I go under, and I swallow water, and no one cares. And I see these bodies underwater, and I see Jessica's got her hands down Sean's board shorts. Tucker's grabbing Kara, and I'm drowning. I'm dying, and they're laughing. And all of a sudden, I'm lying by the pool. And Leahy is right there, right above me, and he says,
You tell no one. He says, you tell no one.
This is your fault.
This is your fault. You don't know how to swim? What little bastard doesn't know how to swim?
You say nothing.
You tell no one.
No one! And I didn't. I didn't tell anyone. And I would see them at school, and they wouldn't even look at me. I'd wake up in the middle of the night. I'd gasp for breath. And my parents, they thought I was an asthmatic. They even gave me an inhaler. They didn't know that every time I closed my eyes, I was drowning. You know about that little white light that they talk about? You see when you die. No, I didn't see anything. Just darkness.
This is all times when Scott could have been slashing him.
Mm-hmm. But then came the Argent's funeral, and everything changed.
Monologuing, fill in.
I was taking some photos, and then purely by accident, Leahy gets in one of the photos. I look down at the screen of my camera, and I just have this unbelievable rage that fills up inside of me, and I look at him, and I want to see him dead.
You better act, Matt.
And the next day, he actually was.
Ms. Zixie, there's a lot about this that we're going to talk about.
And Einstein was right. Imagination is more important than knowledge. It's like something out of Greek mythology, like the Furies coming down to punish Orestes.
Scott's face! That was the best acting he's done all season.
Dumbass! The Furies are deities of vengeance. Their tears ran of blood and they had snakes for hair. If there was a crime that had gone unpunished, the Furies would do the punishing.
Why are his lips so chapped, Scott's?
Jackson is my Fury. When I saw him the next night, it was like this bond had been cemented between the two of us. I knew he had killed Leahy for me.
Oh, okay, so it was before.
So I went to Tucker's garage.
Yes.
I even paid for an oil change. And guess what? He'd even recognize me. So, when he wasn't looking, I took a shot of him with my camera. And in a few hours, he was dead.
Gross.
So I took more pictures. All I had to do was take their picture.
But who killed the pregnant lady? Did we find that out?
Jackson would take their life.
So is that hypothetical situation we talked about?
All right, press pause. Okay, thank you.
What?
Okay, I first have a question. He said I would see them at school. How? There's no way they could be.
That timeline does not work.
Because they were supposed to be 17.
Wait, no,
yeah,
this
no,
is.
It doesn't track.
But he wasn't in high school when this happened, because he was Isaac's age. Because didn't this happen the same time that the fire happened?
Okay, if they were 17, at the earliest, they would have been juniors.
Wait, what class? Wait, what class was this? This is a class of what?
2006.
Okay, so it was 5 years ahead. Okay, so
well, no, that's still
right.
not unless you have 6th grade in with the juniors.
With the exactly,
which,
and there's
in my school they did, but there was a entirely different part of the school.
But then you also have this. I'm about to say this school is much larger, so there's no way that 6th grade would be in the same as high school. So yeah, this is
so if we're going by this
2006
timeline, then 2006 and it's 2011 on the show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that 6. Oh shoot, my math is off. 5 years.
Yes.
Ago.
5 years. They would have been 12. 5 years. They would have been 11 and 12 for Matt. He would have been 11 or 12.
Okay, and that's 11, 12, 13. So he would have been in 7th grade.
12 plus 6.
People were juniors.
Or 12 minus 6. He would have been in 6th or 7th grade. No, he wouldn't have been. No, he wouldn't have been in 7th grade. He would have been in 5th or 6th grade.
Okay, so then if these people were 17 and juniors because they were all late, whatever, then their senior year would have been when Matt is in 6th or 7th, and then when he was in 7 or 8, so they would have graduated already.
Right. So this timeline
unless they all graduated late and then waited like 2 more years.
Well, they couldn't because then they wouldn't be. They couldn't because then they wouldn't be able to be on the swim team. Because their grades had to be up.
They don't graduate.
No, I mean their grades would have had to stay up. Yeah.
But you can fail out and then become eligible again when you repeat a year. I mean, if we're really going to take it there, but that isn't what they intended. This is just bad writing again.
Exactly, because and then he was talking about, Ms. Ixie, you had asked about the Jarhead brother. I think he was just an ROTC. And I think it's just as simple as that. But no, because Hilda Zelinsky, those are two. I refuse to believe that Beacon Hills High was once an integrated school 5 years ago. You want to give me 15 years ago, maybe. 5 years ago, you're not going, because that's a K through 12 school. If you have 5th and 6th graders in with high schoolers, that's a K through 12. That's insane, especially in a city as sprawling as Beacon Hills. Now, if it was next to the junior high
schools melded with middle schools. Oh, sorry.
Well, I've seen junior highs become middle schools because that was kind of what my situation was. Like my high school only had 3 years. It had 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So I did 9th grade at my middle school.
Yeah, but I mean, nowadays, the most common, even in 2011, the most common school setup was elementary, which was K through 5, middle school, which was 6 to 8, and high school, which is 9 to 12.
Right.
Like doing anything else and expecting people to assume it is that way without you explaining it is ridiculous.
Well, see, that, and then also, I still don't buy that, Claire, because if he was so traumatized that he was like, he keeps saying, like, I kept running into them, like I couldn't escape them. And it's like, well, if you're in a different school, then you don't have this problem unless you bring it on yourself. So, I don't know. It's messy.
Unless Matt got held back a few years because he was so traumatized.
Well, I mean, even then, that
would
would make it even worse because they would be graduating, he'd still be in middle school. Mm-hmm. What's kind of messed up is he was having, like, I'm kind of team Matt at this point because he was having panic attacks, and it's like, I don't know these other people, but now you're telling me this baby got thrown in the pool and he drowned while all these kids were trying to cop a feel.
But he didn't actually die, and everybody else was
I think he did.
Didn't know what was going on.
I think he definitely died. And when you see a kid at the bottom of the pool, yeah.
No, because he pulls him out, and it's just like, you never tell anyone. It wasn't he pulls him out, performs CPR, and then...
Oh, no, but no, he did, because he wasn't awake. He said when I woke up, he was yelling at me, but that's how he woke up. Because he brought him back to life. And then also, because at this point, he also has to tell the other kids to get out of the pool. And I'm like, so how were they not crowded around him? Like, oh my God, what's wrong? I'm so sorry. I'm like, y'all were not that drunk. So yeah, that whole story.
But still, vengeance murder, it's another thing.
Nah, I'm here for it. I'm Team Matt.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of Team Matt now.
Yeah.
Like when I originally watched this, I was just like, oh, boo fucking who.
Yeah.
And then, now, looking back, I'm like, dang. Matt be in the right.
Right. They messed this baby up. He just wanted some Spider-Man or Batman. He just wanted to do a little trade.
There's that timeline, but now there's the fact that the palms meeting against the glass is not when they bonded. So then, the Kanema was already psychically linked to Matt.
Yeah, they don't ever explain that too. Was it just was it his longing?
And then, this idea of making it seem like it's linked to the camera. Oh, every time
right.
I take a picture. But then, he has a bunch of pictures of Allison, and Allison's never been attacked.
Right. Well, he's only thinking. Oh, but maybe that's why Jackson was hitting on Allison, because that's what he wanted. What a mess! No, you can't say he only died for a minute or two. He still died. It's still death. Oh man, I love it.
So then you have that, but then. So then Jackson's responding to Matt. So what made Matt...
Oh, wait. We froze up. Philip, you back? So what made Matt what?
What made Matt special compared to everyone else in Beacon Hills?
Maybe he was just hurting the most.
out of everyone in Beacon Hill.
Sure.
Okay, how convenient. And then, I mean, you would think Derek would be hurting.
Thank you. That's why I'm like, how did the Kanema not seek out Derek? But Derek wouldn't have known what to do with the Kanema. I also like that. I like a lot that Derek does have a sense of order. And that's something, again, that Scott never really had. But the idea that the universe is always going to right itself. Like, even Deedon had to explain this again to Scott. The whole thing about balancing towards the mean. Like, that's what they do. And it's something that I think is very good to have shown Derek understanding. But I'm sad they didn't follow through on it.
Yeah.
Oof.
And you see, like, Derek understands that, but Scott believes regression to the mean means regression to things working out for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not necessarily
the same.
What the world, it's not what the world is. The world is chaos.
Exactly. And that's not the mean, you know. That's just you being ridiculous. All right, let's press play. See my boys on screen.
You're not getting any less hypothetical?
I think so. I can move my toes.
David, I can move my toes.
What was that?
What's this? What's going on?
Oh, snap! How did Matt die? Is that how he died? We'll find out.
No.
The Argents are cold-blooded.
Shakespeare wrote that love is a smoke made with the fume of sighs.
Kill him.
Nobody talks like this.
Nope.
Kill him.
Jeff Davis does.
Also, Ms. Zixie said, I think so. I can twitch my cock.
Look, I'm sorry, but, like, all of these references to, like, high school level literature.
That's right.
Like, nobody talks like this. And it's like we've had not only a reference to Shakespeare, but also Oedipus.
Which is ridiculous. Although kind of fitting with Scott and his mom. Oh, jeez.
Go!
Wait, did he just toss Jackson and like, we'll deal with you later?
And then walked away. Because Scott is terrible.
Jackson's not just gonna get right back up?
Yeah.
Whatever.
He's like, F you, Derek. It has a glass window. Why are there so many doors? Keep walking. I think they shot it out, Miss Zixie. Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Don't move. You know what I mean?
Oh, that was so messed up. At least support his neck.
What are you doing?
If you're not going to tell me, then get out of my way.
Allison.
Where is he?
Oh, this would...
Scott. Scott, you need to stay away from me right now. I need to go.
He knows she meant Derek. Okay, so he is
Yeah, but
trash.
you know what? You You know what's more important in Derek's life, or why Allison wants to kill him? How hurt Scott is by the transformation of how Allison's acting right now.
Right.
That's more important.
Jeez Louise.
I mean, you see the tears in his eyes, like, oh my god.
Because that would have been the perfect time to be like, that would have been the perfect time to be like, what are you talking about? Derek was protecting me, or something. Anything.
Why are you going after Derek?
No, not even why. No, you need to start telling her. Just start saying it. You don't need to ask no question.
Well, but Scott's dumb. He isn't connecting Victoria's death with Derek.
Ugh. What a mess. What? Oh, snap. I forgot about that happening.
Me too.
Oh, Allison. You're the worst. And then the aunt's gonna be like, well, he never had a chance. Didn't you see? She wouldn't listen to him. Hush, Mazixie. You ain't Arya Stark. Why did you think that would work? Is it made out of dragon glass?
Okay, you shot him through the head, then you want to stab him.
Thank you.
You should give me a chance.
This is the part where he gets crazy.
Remember how I said?
Yes.
I'm not the kind of guy who would say something like, well, if I can't ever, no one can. It's not totally true because, Allison,
if I can't
have you, no one can.
Team Matt.
He's just so good.
He did a really good job. Him and that one dinky little gun. They're the worst.
I really wish they hadn't killed him. I wish they had found some way to resolve this. Even if he had to go away for a season or two.
God, come on, you can do it. Come on.
Oh. Oh, Styles. Ugh. Who's that? Oh, wait, no. What?
Matt?
Who was that?
Hold on, before I forget, who is that? But two, people, they do understand that you don't just, there's not like a cancer pill you take when you start coughing, right?
Oh, I always thought that those were like pain pills. Well, it's just, they do this every single show does this. And it's a TV trope where people are like, oh, I'm so anxious. And it's like, no, that's not how medicine works. Like, that's just not going to happen.
It's how Xanax works, but, like, it does take a few minutes.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, it takes more than unless you have a really high dosage. But a lot of times it's like they'll take a Vicodin or like a Percocet and then just be like, oh, instantaneous. I'm like, absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Once you know what Percocet is like, you take it and you feel an instant relief. Because you're psyching yourself like, oh, it's going to go away in a little bit. And then in like 10 to 15 minutes, everything is good.
Yeah, but then that's 10 or 15. Well, see, Percocet never had that effect on me. As I got some when I
really?
had some tooth work. It does nothing for me. But I did get this medicine that knocked me on my back. Like, I was sitting in bed like... and for y'all that can't see me, I'm waving my hand in front of my face very slowly. But I had to stop taking... Oh, it's sumatriptan. It was sumatriptan, and I had to... Sumatriptan. I had to stop taking it. I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I need to be functional. I can't. Okay, so where are we? Oh, okay. Yeah, who was that? Because they had on a leather jacket, so it kind of looked like Matt, but I'm like, are you seeing visions, Gerard?
Was it Derek?
Well, no, because Derek's inside, right? I don't know. Maybe it was Derek. You better work, Dylan. Is there a fire inside? Oh, they did a smoke bomb. But then why would he just stand there? No, because that definitely wasn't Derek. But who was it?
Oh, do you think it was Peter?
Oh, Peter. But, ooh. Does Peter show up in this episode? Oh, is Peter trying to find the Kanema? I'm so confused.
That would be... You see, that would have made more sense.
Thank
Peter
you.
taking over the Kanema.
Yes, and that's what I thought too, especially for revenge. What? And so Gerard probably tried to get to the Kanema before Peter did. Okay, go ahead.
And you see, Peter would be the type of person that wouldn't blame Derek for taking his shot because, that's what a good nephew does.
Yeah.
But he would totally hold a grudge with Scott.
Oh, God, yeah. He's like, I don't know you.
I gave you unlimited power, and you chose a hunter?
Yep. I love it.
Okay.
Gross.
We're at 36:12 in 3, 2, 1.
Whee!
Matt, please listen to me. My son has been shot, and I've heard other gunfire, and I don't know what's happening, but...
Oh, Melissa.
You see my son?
How totally clueless are you?
Thank you! Team Matt.
Hashtag Matt was right.
Oh, this is why Sheriff didn't know.
Man versus Lizard Man is the first thing that Melissa McCall sees.
Right. God dang, Derek. Styles is like, I can't watch my baby go out like this. Oh, snap. Okay. Girl, get away from the gate. What's wrong with you? Really? Oh, God. Scott, you're the worst.
Scott, are you okay?
Oh, girl. It runs in the family. This is just a Delgado family trait. She said, dang, Rafa, what's in your gene pool?
You're fighting the Kanema. There's not enough time for this dramatic.
Yes, I'm like, where is the Kanema? He said, my mama don't love me no more. And my girl
so
don't
many
love
problems with this.
my girl don't love me no more.
Why is his first reaction just like...
Well, I understand her reaction, but God, oh. What?
Trust me, I'm aware of that. I've done everything that you've asked of me. I'm part of their ex-pack. I've given you all the information that you wanted. I told you Matt was controlling Jackson. And leave him to us. Help your friends. Leave Matt and Jackson to me. Deal with your mother. Go.
Ugh, Scott's an idiot.
Drop this. Go.
Wait. So this is... What? Okay. Dang! I do remember this being messed up. Oh. I do remember, even the first time I watched it, this was harrowing to me. Oh. This is so sad!
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean, we cut out... No, never mind.
Oh, jeez. They totally could have brought Matt back. Oh, okay. Huh. But Peter almost looks impressed. He's like, you killed my master.
No longer afraid of the water? Well, you don't have to be afraid of anything, my friend.
Peter, go get him!
Especially me.
This is so dumb.
Well, no, I actually... But Peter should have stopped this. Huh.
You see, if Jackson, the Canema was psychically linked to Matt before the palm thing and it killed Isaac's dad, then the palm thing doesn't mean anything.
At this point, well, no, at this point that has to be a fluke. I don't know why. I don't know how. But at this point that has to be a fluke.
Did they get to the end of the season and was like, oh shit, Matt didn't know. None of this happened. None of the stuff we wanted.
None of this connects in a way that makes sense. Because there's no way that Jackson would have known about the pictures on Matt's camera. So it would have had to have been some sort of psychic connection. But then, even if he did lose a master... Okay, so the Canema... So this means that the Canema had to have been created because of Matt. So after Jackson got his scratch, then Matt had to have started this process even then.
No, I don't think so.
He would have had to.
I mean,
when were they
in... Canema happened because Jackson was fucked up.
I don't think so. I mean, it could... I mean... It doesn't make sense.
I mean, the idea that Jackson became a Canema because his mind was fucked up just makes no sense. Because they make Canema sound like a super rare thing.
Exactly.
But, I mean, are you telling me that everyone who ever became a werewolf was perfectly sane?
Right. Especially those who have gotten bitten before. And so I just don't.
But then I guess we're talking about how rare it is for people to be bitten in the first place.
And that it only happens.
Like
Okay.
Derek's pack.
So it says the Kanama seeks a master, and that it only happens when someone is unsure of who they are. But I think that has to be. I don't know. It's just the whole.
Being unsure of who you are doesn't really make sense with becoming a vengeance monster because it doesn't connect. What connects is if the person who becomes a Kanama is someone who's had, someone who's bitten and has had someone violently murdered.
It's someone who has unresolved, someone who has unresolved vengeance to seek out that they can never resolve. So Jackson's thing is he was adopted, and so he has anger towards that
against the drunk driver who killed his parents.
Right.
But you see, that would make sense.
Yes.
That's not where they went with it.
Exactly. So, what's concerning to me is this is season 2. And this was the good season. And they had a lot of time to put this together. How did they drop the ball so hard on this season? Because I remember watching 3B even before 320. 3B was a hot mess. They brought in a whole bunch of people and Barrow and then the flies. And it's like, what do flies have to do with this? And then, there was just a lot of stuff. And then suddenly there's Satomi's pack who just kind of showed up. And so there's always all these plot holes.
And on the school bus with light up eyes.
Yes. And so it's like, aunties get mad at us because we fill in canon holes, but they don't want us to acknowledge that there are holes. And it's like, there are clearly holes. There are so many. Digging up, there's a Shia LaBeouf amount of holes in this show. Thank you, Ethan.
Woo! That brought me back.
Right? Digging up those holes.
Yeah.
Digging up those holes.
None of this worked
out.
So this means that Jackson was turned into a Kanama before his first full moon.
What? I didn't hear none of
that.
Right?
So the way this timeline lays out, Jackson became the Kanama and killed Isaac's dad before his first full moon.
Yeah. These people are messy.
And, werewolves turn into werewolves before their first full moon, but, none of this makes sense. In the way they want it to suggest that it makes sense.
I guess. Alright, is that the end of the app?
Why do we do this? I don't know if there's an ending. Hold on.
That felt... Oh, yeah, no, that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, Norrie Victoria. It was Tara Graham.
They couldn't even give her a name.
I don't know when she got a name, because that is her canon name. Does she have a name tag on? Which would be really messed up if she had a name tag on, but she couldn't get it in the credits. In fact, hold on. Wait, I'm going to take control, Philip.
I greeted Derek in season 1.
Yeah, that's the same one.
Are we sure, or is it because she's...
Not all black people look like Philip. I'm just playing. I'm pretty sure it's her.
I don't remember what Tara looked like.
Because Tara definitely died. Yeah, no name tag. Maybe it's not.
You want me to go to the episode that
no.
see her in the first time?
Nah, we're good. This now I will say VIP goes to Stephen Lunsford because he did a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
VIP number 2 goes to Styles, of course. Even in his small amount of things to do, he did them very competently and very well. My third VIP is going to go to Allison. Because even though she plays it up. She knows her eyes are big and brown. She knows her jaw is huge and square. And she knows how to use them to portray every emotion. So I think she did a really good job. What are you guys' three? Our third VIP pick.
Even though I didn't like the reaction, I would say maybe Mama McCall.
Yeah. She was schmacting up a storm.
Yeah, I think that Melissa did a good job with everything, but this is one of those things that we just talked about before we started. I'm not sure if this character would have done that, reacted like that, but to create drama, she did.
Right, exactly.
There needed to be that conflict there.
Oh, and this is, 100%. This is an actor being given a script that makes no sense, and then saying, all right, we're going to do this. Because
and she did it well, exactly. But does this make sense for Melissa McCall, the character? I don't know.
Not as blatant. Not necessarily that because I did understand her reaction. The no thing was a bit much, but for that being her very first encounter, I am a little upset that
he just got shot.
Exactly, and that he wasn't on the floor bleeding. It's like, girl, you need to put a little bit of that together, just a little bit, so that when this surprise comes, it doesn't hit you as hard. Tara Graham was one of the sacrifices, so she was later. So she was another. See, the Beacon Hills had all these black females in it, and then they all got killed off.
Not all black people look alike.
They don't. They don't. I just forgot which scene it was. You know, I don't have a memory.
No, but with the Mama McCall scene, I think that she should have run to the bars and been like, "Oh my God, Scott, are you okay?"
Yeah.
And then something should have made him growl at her, whether it's a wolfsbane bullet and we don't know what it is, and that scares her.
Absolutely.
And then she doesn't know whether he's in control or not.
Mm-hmm. That would have been perfect.
Well, yeah,
that would have made that scene so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, and rather than have this melodramatic time waster where you're just looking at each other all hurt and betrayed,
And then she backs up
Okay.
and literally you can't see anything.
So this is when Scott gets Gerard's pills. So this ostensibly is when he starts switching them out, right?
Yeah.
So...
Which means that Deedon already knew about his duplicitous plan with Scott when he was talking to Derek.
Well, what I'm wondering is if Deedon because what it sounded like is that Deedon originally had this plan with Derek, or was originally going to involve Derek, and then decided at the last minute not to. Because he was like, you need to go find Scott.
I don't trust anyone.
Yeah, he was like, you need to go find Scott. You need to get to Scott. And my thinking is because he's going to tell you this plan we have for getting rid of Gerard. The problem is I don't believe Scott to be smooth enough to have played that off. Like, oh, I saw Gerard. He dropped his pills. Perfect cover. That doesn't scream Scott to me. Well, that whole plan doesn't scream Scott to me, especially that he would go through with it.
But in the next episode, Derek and Peter approached Scott and Isaac at the game after Jackson's died, and let him know that Derek saw what happened and that Scott's been working with him the whole time. And Scott doesn't defend himself with saying, "Look, we have a plan to get Gerard. And I'm just playing my part."
Okay, let's wait on that then, because I don't know about any of that. So, and then why did Isaac recognize Matt? I'm guessing that Matt stopped going to their house, but I would assume that maybe Isaac would have seen him at school, or, he would have been like, hey, why don't you come over anymore? Or, just anything. I don't know.
I mean, I think Matt avoided Isaac for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Because of how anxious he was about anything having to do with any of them. Like, anyone related to the pool incident, but, as far as, and I don't think they ever talked about suspecting Matt anywhere around Isaac.
Okay.
Because right now Isaac is just on the run for his own dad's murder.
Oh,
time, right?
I forgot about that. I forgot they thought it was him. This show's terrible. All right. I think we are good. Thanks, everyone, for coming by and hanging out. I'm going to go read some cleansing fanfic. I have been on a tear with Boyd, Derek, and Styles. And I've been really enjoying the selection, but there is not enough. So you guys need to get to writing. I have some more that I need to write too.
I need someone to write some Theo Derek for me, please.
I'm about to say Ethan wrote one, and it was good.
I wrote one.
Theo Derek Parrish.
Oh, there was that one. I forgot about
that. Your Rockabilly one.
And my Rockabilly Air.
Yes, it's so good.
And then I also wrote Theo Derek Style.
Ooh.
That one. Wait, that one was for you. That was your.
That's right. Yes.
Present?
Probably.
it was some form of present. It was like birthday or Valentine's or something
Yay.
like that.
Aww.
So I did write that. Let's see. I have some ideas. Actually, I had a couple pairings that I was like, see, I'm like a big, I like to think of unconventional, but
right.
pairings.
Yes. I love it. Who are you thinking of now?
I don't know. A lot of them involve Theo. Just because Cody Christian messy.
I love Cody Christian.
Oh, I had one with
Cody Chrissy.
With Parrish.
Mm.
Let's see. Because I was thinking about Ryan Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea.
Thank goodness someone was.
I think a lot of people think about, have that moment where I was like, why was I thinking about Ryan Kelly?
Right.
There's literally nothing to think about him. But I think that's what I was thinking about.
Right.
At a level. I was just like, man, why Ryan Kelly tried so hard for a short period of time.
Yeah.
And got nowhere.
Actually, no, he tried for a very long period of time, got somewhere initially, and then went nowhere.
Yeah.
Because he had Ben 10 or whatever that show was, and, he had some stuff. He had some credits.
Yeah, well, I think also what happened, I think I was thinking about when we went to HowlerCon and how he was literally just in the crowd talking to people. Whereas, everybody else was, up on the stage,
yes.
Up on behind. Oh, you didn't go to the party, right?
No, but you told me about it, but then also, I just know that's how Ryan Kelly is. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that is how Ryan Kelly is, but, that's sort of he's, hustling. Yeah. Right? He's trying to get people to, like him and stuff like that, and it's just sort of I'm just how did that not pay off?
Yeah.
It's very curious.
Because he's talented enough.
People need to post more.
And he's pretty enough. But he used to, but now he just kind of doesn't.
Well, he's getting older.
Yeah.
Right? He's so to do.
But he's getting older quickly. His hairline is becoming an issue. And I was just
yeah. I did.
Tanning doesn't help.
Yeah, in the tanning. Over tanning and
tanning doesn't help.
It's our faces are our fortunes.
The hair thing is easily fixable, but he's still gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
He has a rockin' vibe.
I'm sure that he will figure it out. Hopefully. But, yeah, oh my god, but you know what? Paris and Theo lend to each other very well because of that homeless Theo car scene, truck scene.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It just lends itself to like cop Paris like knocking on that window and being like, "Gotta pay the toll, kid."
See, and that's just not that's another storyline that made no god dang sense. Theo living with fake parents and then suddenly he's out homeless and I'm like, what? What happened?
Because I mean he obviously had to be in the know with the doctors enough to know where they kept their money.
Right.
So why wouldn't he get it as soon as the doctors were dead?
No clue. And the doctors, oh my god. So also, geez Louise. What was I gonna, so yeah, so I'm writing this Stuber that I'm finishing up. And so of course I have a Steric cameo. And in all of my stews, I have it where, Stu really can't stand Derek. And so he's like, you're not my type, but I find that I'm head over heels in love with you because of Styles, because his love is so like huge and epic. And we're like, he either have them be twins or twin cousins. And so he's like, because of twin sense, I'm in love with you, which annoys Stu to death. And so he hates Derek even more. And so I made it in this one where, they would just kind of antagonize each other, and Styles was like, leave each other alone. I love you both, get along, da 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 da. And so in this latest one, I tried to make it where Derek was super nice to Bert when Stu wasn't around. And then when Stu got around, he'd be like super mean to Stu behind Bert's back. And just God. Like this little joke. And so like, for example, Derek was like, oh yeah, Bert, you have a wonderful day, and you tell Stu that I love him and I hope all his dreams come true. And then so Bert goes to Stu and he was like, yeah, Derek, he said that he loved you and he hopes all your dreams come true. And then Stu was like, what? How could he say that to me? I hate him. It's just like this whole like, such a jerk. Oh, why did my brother marry him? Just all this crap. But I think it just didn't come through fully because people are like, why does Stu hate Derek? And I'm like Derek hates Stu too. They're just, like brotherly hate. It's just antagonizing, but it's a lot of fun. So now I got to figure out, I'm on the last freaking chapter and I'm so close. I just never get time to sit down and do it. So I'm very excited. But once that's done, I have one where, Derek is a single father to Boyd's kid because Boyd always gets him through his heats. He was a werewolf alpha, but he's also an omega, which he didn't know. And so he had a heat, and then Boyd helped him through it and ended up knotting him, and then Derek got pregnant. And so he has a baby.
I feel like most of your fics end with Derek or Styles got pregnant.
Yeah. Recently, Derek a lot. Yeah. And so Derek is just kind of expecting Boyd to kind of always be there doing his heats. But then Boyd is like, I met this girl, I met Erica. So you're going to have to find you're going to have to actually find a new heat partner. But really, you need to find a mate, dude. Like, your daughter deserves like blah, 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 all that crap. And so
our daughter.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, it's their daughter, but he's saying like, you want to be happy. Like, I'm gonna have a love, and she's gonna want you to have a love.
Derek's all knocked up, and he's pregnant, and he thinks he's found his mate, and then he has his baby, and he's nursing it, and then his mate. He's not who is his mate, runs off with some blonde bombshell.
Well, that's kind of what happens, only it's a little more farce. And so Derek is just kind of like surly. And so, of course, he's at his daughter's spelling bee at their school. And he's smelling something. It's like the best thing he's ever smelled, that whole shebang. And he's like, oh, I got to find the scent. And then he sees that it's his daughter's classroom. It's like Mr. Stilinski, and then he sees Styles. He's like, ugh. You know, it's just like, what? Because Styles has like glasses and a sweater vest, and he appears to be kind of slight. You know, he's a little bit taller than Derek, but he's still like skinny. And Derek is just like, you know, where's my big, strong alpha to free me? And then, of course, it's like Styles. So then Styles is like, hi, you know, here's a flower. Yeah, like all this crap. It's going to be cute when I get it together. I just got to get it together. Marty, Stu, and Mitch McReynolds. I did have one where Mitch and Marty were at... Basically, they were each being unintentional security at Styles and Derek's wedding. And so, like, there was a threat against Styles and Derek, but it wasn't really real. But they took it overly seriously. And so, like, Mitch is, you know, he has the sniper rifle out and, like, a scope. And Marty is doing, like, special ops on all the attendees and, like, frisking people unnecessarily and getting too handsy. And then, basically, they meet in the middle and then they bang in the closet. So, it's going to be fun. That's going to be good times, too. All right.
Just an update to everyone who will listen. Pan_Dora has updated her new deliciously anti-Scott fic, and there's also a new post, so y'all should go read it.
Someone commented on my Scott McCall and his amazing bi-ness story, and they're like, oh, this is so cute. I love the way you write, Scott. Oh, it's so great. And I was like, ha ha ha. It was great. See, I don't know about Marty and Stuart. I don't know. Maybe Stuart and Mitch. I always think...
speaking of daddies, maybe like a Sheriff Derek.
Uh-huh.
I think that's the pairing I was thinking of.
Devil's Cut on AO3 is writing this epic Hurt Comfort Sheriff Derek. It is wild. Now, Stydia is a side pairing, and I'm like, girl, come on. But it is Sheriff, and Derek goes through, and Sheriff brings him out of it. And it, for what it, you know, it's great, but because she's an excellent writer. But I was very, very, I loved it. It was great.
Well, I also really like Feral Derek, right?
Oh, yes. I love Feral Derek. Anytime.
So, I'm thinking of, like, pairing the two together.
Ooh.
I was having some thoughts the other day. I was like, I wonder how I could, like, pair this.
Yeah.
We're like, Feral Derek is like, oh, no, I don't want to sleep with Styles because, like, he knows he's going to break him.
I read this fic. It was so interesting. It was written in 2012. And so, of course, at that time, Derek and Styles had a very specific dynamic. And then what I also don't like about fic from that time is, like, they still have Derek living in either the burnt out house, and him and Styles will have sex in some part of this house. And I'm like, disgusting. Like, no, don't do that. Or it'll be at the train station.
You can never get
Woo! My God. Tetanus is forever. And so... And so, so Derek was like, well, Styles and him were like, you know, just, F bunnies. They, you know, they were like, I'm gonna sex you to get you through this heat. And so then Derek was avoiding Styles, you know, self-sacrifice. And then he chained himself up. So when Styles found him, he was kind of feraled out. And Styles was like, well, what if, you know, I let you just bang it out once, and then after that it'll feel good, you know, and all this other stuff. And Derek was like, if you let me go, I'm going to take you without any preparation, without any lube. It's going to be awful. You know, don't do this. And then Styles was like, I'm going to do it. But he like unbuckles.
I want Styles to be like, oh, I already prepped.
Well, exactly, because you could tell that this story was done before this author knew anything about any kind of prep or anything about how it actually works. So like she had Derek going into him raw, just like bang bang, but like dry and just really messed up. And Styles like had to take a week off of school and told his dad it was pneumonia. I was like, what is this? And then Derek like left again, and it was wild. I was like, this is why people hated Derek at the beginning. But I'm so glad that they course corrected from this. The fandom was like, oh no, baby, no, we can't be like this. No. It was wild. So good.
Wow.
All right. I think we are good. I am going to go and get ready for tomorrow. Oh, here we go. It's going to be such a long day.
Tomorrow.
Thursday. And it's not Friday or Saturday like it should be.
Oh, God, no.
So,
I go in at 11:45.
You're the worst. I've been going in early and then staying later. And so, it's nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
No, I worked this past Saturday, so we
that's right.
We only work 35 during the week. So
that's nice.
And today I worked 8 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
So to make up for it, tomorrow I work like 11:45 to 6:30.
Oh.
And then on Friday I work 11:15 to 6. So
y'all doing it on quarter hours, or is that just when you get there?
What do you mean? What?
Like the 11:15 and the 11:45.
We have a 45-minute lunch.
Gotcha. Oh, that's nice. That's not bad. Okay.
Yeah.
30 minutes is not enough.
It really isn't. Especially if you have to go get food or even just warm your own food up. It takes that amount of... It takes 15 minutes to do that. And then you sit down like scarf.
Yeah. What I love about my current job is that they understand that like sometimes you just need a breather.
Yeah.
And, like,
That's
they'll
real.
just sort of, like, you'll just be like, hey, like, I'm going to go take a lap, like, go to the store, I'm going to go do this, or, like, as long as you say sort of, like, where you're going, and, like, they can, like, guesstimate, like, how long it's going to take, you can go do it.
That's nice.
So, so, like, literally right outside of work is the tea stop.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, like, going downstairs,
nice.
there's, like, a Dunkin' Donuts,
Yeah.
and, like, you can, like, I literally walk, like, 10 steps from going off the train to like work.
Nice.
And like, so I can go downstairs, get Dunkin' Donuts, or like there's a CVS right next door, Starbucks is right next door. Like, so we have like everything. So like literally just like taking a jaunt outside. It's just like so quick and
just relaxing.
So,
that sounds nice. Now that the weather is finally starting to act right, even though this week it was just rainy and cold, but now it's finally starting to act right. So we have these outdoor spaces like for eating in different areas. And so we've been trying to use those as much as possible. But I'm like, oof,
nice.
I'm over this city. I'm over it. All right. Say goodnight, Philip.
Good night, everybody.
Say goodnight, Ethan.
Good night, everybody. Enjoy, and may your trip to Friday be fast
and fab,
non-messy.
Yes, that's all we ask. All right, everyone. Good night. Have a great time, and we will see you next time. Bye. And press stop.